Hello there, and welcome to another episode of The Way Off Show, where I am Damien Fowry. Thank you for tuning into The Way Off Show, where tonight we're talking about Nintendo and their odd fascination with disk drives, yet odd fear of disk drives. Let's start off with the Famicom disk system, which was in Japan only. Well, what is it to say about the Famicom? Well, it would have got ported to, or it would have got put on the NES. That's why there's the little expansion drive on the bottom. But they never used it, which is weird. It was just there. It was just a port that nobody used. Originally, it was supposed to be released in the US, and they were prototyping it, but the problem was, well, you can't prototype something that doesn't make sense anymore. So after a while, they just canceled it because it didn't make sense, because the little discs that were for Famicom were becoming more expensive than cartridges. So they were just like, let's just use cartridges still. So we never got one. One day I'd like to see someone modify one to where it can plug into the bottom and it'll look like the bottom of the NES. So that'd be cool. So then, the SNES CD. Once again, another Nintendo system with an expansion slot on the bottom, where originally it was Sony and Nintendo working together, which made this, which there's only one in existence according to the internet forums. And well, Nintendo over time dropped Sony, so anyone who's a big Sony fan should indirectly thank Nintendo for that, because without Nintendo, Sony would maybe never got into the gaming market, and you wouldn't have a PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, PSP, PSP Go, PS Vita, PlayStation TV. You wouldn't have any of those, most likely, if Nintendo didn't screw over Sony by going for Philips, which didn't work out either, so there was never an SNES CD. Well, what happened? Well, Philips ended up making their own system called the Philips CDI, which nobody really bought, and Sony ended up making PlayStation. But the problem that rose between Sony and Nintendo was, I guess Sony won a chunk, like a huge chunk of what the CD drive made and how much rights to the games type of a thing, because Nintendo had all the rights to the games pretty much on the SNES. So, guess that's a good thing that they didn't work out, because now we have PlayStations. Though I would have really liked to see an SNES CD. Then, in Japan only once again, the N64DD. So if you've ever wondered what that expansion slot was at the bottom of your Nintendo 64, that's what it was for. Never got released here. I actually don't know the reasoning behind this one, just probably because it didn't have many games and didn't sell well in Japan, so they just didn't. There was originally supposed to be a Zelda game for it called Ursa Zelda. Never got released though, so that's unfortunate that everything seems to get canceled before it comes to the US. Japan, you've got it made there. You get all your stuff. You also get the worst stuff too at the same time, because it's like, well, shit. You get these things that nobody wants. So if you buy them, they're worth money. Then finally, the GameCube, where they finally switched to CDs and DVDs, which was great, except mini DVDs. So they never actually had a DVD drive in a GameCube. It was a mini DVD, and well, they didn't ever have the Wii was its own special disc. The Wii U was its own special disc. No Blu-ray, because now they're back to SD cards, well, cartridges. So, what do you think about Nintendo and their weird ways of going back to cartridges? I think it's good because it's quicker media than DVDs, Blu-rays. So, comment below. Tell me what you think about this. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell icon. And have a way off night.